Standing at the edge of bankruptcy with just $27 in my account, 3 hungry kids at home, and a stack of unpaid bills, I faced the darkest moment of my life. The business I'd poured 5 years into was crumbling. That morning, I sat in my car, hands trembling on the steering wheel, tears streaming down my face. The voice in my head screamed, "Give up, you're finished. Go find a regular job." But something else stirred inside me. A quiet voice, barely a whisper, said, "You have one more round in you." Right there in that parking lot, I made a decision that would transform my entire life. I wiped my tears, picked up my phone, and started calling every client who had ever said no to me. I didn't beg. I didn't plead. I offered solutions with absolute conviction. Out of 67 calls that day, 65 people hung up on me, but 2 people said yes. Those 2 yeses became the foundation of what is now a multi-million-dollar company. But here's what you need to know: that company isn't what I'm proud of. I'm proud of the moment I chose to keep going when every fiber of my being wanted to quit. You see, you're not here today because you need more information. You're here because something inside you knows you were built for more. That same voice that whispered to me in the car is whispering to you right now. It's telling you that you have greatness within you, that you have one more round in you, that you can push beyond your limits. Your circumstances right now might look impossible. You might be 1 bill away from breaking, 1 rejection away from quitting, 1 setback away from giving up. But I'm here to tell you this is not your end. This is your beginning. This is where your story of triumph starts. Your brain is the most sophisticated computer ever created, but it runs on an ancient operating system. When you face a challenge, your brain does something fascinating. It treats that challenge like a life or death situation. That project deadline, your brain processes it the same way it would process a lion chasing you. That fear of failure. It triggers the same response as physical danger. But here's what's remarkable: studies show that when most people think they've hit their limit, they've only used about 40% of their actual capacity. Think about that. When your body screams undone, when your mind says I can't take any more, you still have 60% of your tank full. I'll prove it to you right now. Take a deep breath, hold it. Keep holding it. Your body is starting to feel uncomfortable, right? Your mind is saying, I need to breathe, but you're not actually running out of oxygen yet. What you're feeling is discomfort, not danger. You can hold that breath longer than you think you can. This is exactly how quitting works. People quit not because they can't go on, but because they believe they can't go on. They confuse discomfort with inability. Look at your life right now. How many times have you stopped just because things got uncomfortable? That business you wanted to start? That degree you wanted to finish? That weight you wanted to lose? You didn't quit because you couldn't do it. You quit because you stepped out of your comfort zone and your brain's ancient operating system said, warning. Warning? Go back to safety. The comfort zone isn't really comfortable, it's just familiar. It's a cage we build around ourselves, lined with excuses. I'm not ready. It's not the right time. Maybe next year. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough experience. But persistence isn't about being comfortable. It's about being committed. When you're truly committed, comfort becomes irrelevant. Think about a mother lifting a car to save her child in that moment. Comfort doesn't even enter her mind. That's the power of true commitment. Your brain will always try to pull you back to what's familiar. It's designed to conserve energy and avoid risk. But growth happens outside the comfort zone. Every time you persist through discomfort, you're literally rewiring your brain. You're creating new neural pathways that make persistence your new normal. The difference between those who quit and those who succeed isn't talent, luck, or resources. It's their response to discomfort. Champions aren't comfortable. They're just committed to their vision regardless of how they feel. So the next time your brain signals quit, remember you're nowhere near your limit. You're just at the edge of your comfort zone. And that's exactly where transformation begins. Right now in your mind, there's a battle taking place. Every single thought you have is like a soldier, either fighting for your victory or planning your defeat. You need to understand this battlefield because your thoughts aren't just thoughts, they're the seeds of your future actions. Let me break this down in simple terms. Your brain processes about 60,000 thoughts every day. Every single one of these thoughts creates a tiny electrical signal in your brain. When you repeat a thought, you strengthen that signal. Think of it like walking through a field of tall grass. The first time you walk through, you barely leave a path. But walk that same route again and again, and you create a clear trail. This is exactly what happens in your mind. Every time you think, I can't, you're wearing down that path. Every time you say it's too hard, you're creating a deeper groove. Before you know it, your brain automatically takes these negative trails because they become highways in your mind. But here's the power you have. You can create new paths. You can literally rewire your brain. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, but I call it mental reconstruction. Just like you can rebuild a house, you can rebuild your thought patterns. Let me give you a practical example. When I started training my mind, I noticed I had a habit of saying, I'll try whenever I faced a challenge. I'll try to meet the deadline, I'll try to make the sale. I'll try to lose weight, but try is just a soft way of giving yourself permission to fail. So I started catching myself. Every time I thought I'll try, I immediately replaced it with, I will small change, massive impact. This is how you break negative thought patterns through constant awareness and immediate correction. Your old thoughts will still come, that's normal. But you don't have to let them stay. Think of yourself as a bouncer at the club of your mind. Some thoughts don't deserve VIP access. Here's your 3-step process for creating new neural pathways. First, catch the negative thought. Don't ignore it, don't fight it, just notice it. There's that thought again. Second, challenge it immediately. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is this true or is this just my fear talking? Third, replace it with a power thought. Not just positive thinking, power thinking. Instead of I hope this works, think I'm making this work. Instead of this is too hard, think this is making me stronger. Your brain believes what you tell it consistently. If you tell it you're tired, it will produce chemicals to make you tired. If you tell it you're energized, it will produce chemicals to energize you. This isn't motivation, this is science. Right now, some of you are thinking, but you don't understand my situation. You're right, I don't. But I understand the power of the human mind. I understand that every great achievement in human history started with a thought. The airplane started as a thought. The computer started as a thought. Every business, every invention, every breakthrough began in someone's mind. You're not just changing your thoughts, you're rewiring your brain for success. Every time you push through when you want to quit, every time you choose courage over comfort, every time you replace a limiting thought with an empowering one, you're building new neural pathways. Your mind is your most powerful tool. Master it and you'll master your life. The battlefield is in your mind and you're the commander of your thoughts. Mental toughness isn't born, it's built. Like a house, it needs strong pillars to stand tall against life's storms. Let me share with you the 5 pillars that will transform your mind into an unshakable force. Pillar 1, purpose-driven mindset. A purpose-driven mindset is your internal compass. When you know your why, you can endure anyhow, but most people get this wrong. They think purpose means having some grand vision. No. Purpose is personal. It's that fire in your gut that gets you out of bed when you're tired. It's that voice that says keep going when everyone else says give up. Let me be clear, your purpose isn't your goals. Goals change, purpose remains. Goals are like destinations on a map, but purpose is your North Star. When I lost everything, my goals were shattered. But my purpose to create a legacy for my children and inspire others that stayed intact. Your purpose must be bigger than your problems. Write this down, my problems are temporary, but my purpose is permanent. Pillar 2, emotional regulation. Your emotions are like water. They're meant to flow, not flood. Mental toughness isn't about not feeling fear, anger, or doubt. It's about not letting these emotions drive your car. Here's a technique I use, the 5-5-5 rule. When emotions threaten to overwhelm you, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 minutes? 5 months? 5 years? This simple question puts your emotions in perspective. Remember, emotions are great servants but terrible masters. Feel them. Acknowledge them, but don't let them make your decisions. Your emotions will tell you to quit. Your purpose will tell you to continue. Pillar 3, goal visualization. Your mind doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one. That's why professional athletes spend hours visualizing their performance. But here's where most people go wrong with visualization. They only visualize the victory, not the struggle. True goal visualization means seeing yourself pushing through the hard parts. See yourself making one more sales call after a day of rejections. See yourself going to the gym when you're tired. See yourself staying calm in a crisis. Make it detailed. Make it real. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Pillar 4, failure reframing. This pillar is about turning your wounds into wisdom. Stop seeing failure as your enemy, it's your teacher. Every no brings you closer to a yes. Every setback carries a lesson. Let me give you a new definition of failure. Failure is not when you fall down. Failure is when you fall down and refuse to get back up. That's it. Everything else is learning. When you face a setback, ask yourself these 3 questions. What did this teach me? How can I use this? What's the opportunity hidden in this obstacle? Change your relationship with failure and you change your future. Pillar 5, daily discipline. This is where mental toughness is built in your daily habits. Big dreams without daily discipline are just wishes. Your daily routine is either building you up or breaking you down. Start small. Build momentum. Create non-negotiables in your day. For me, it's waking up at 4:30 a.m., spending 30 minutes in prayer and meditation, and reading something that feeds my mind before I check my phone. Your morning routine is especially crucial because it sets the tone for your entire day. Win the morning, win the day. Lose the morning, scramble to recover. Here's the key to daily discipline: stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is like a fair weather friend. Discipline is your blood brother. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. These 5 pillars work together. Your purpose drives your discipline. Your discipline helps regulate your emotions. Your emotional regulation helps you stay focused on your goals. Your goal visualization strengthens your purpose. And your failure reframing keeps you disciplined through setbacks. But here's the truth: knowing these pillars isn't enough. You must build them into your life. Start today. Pick one pillar and strengthen it. Tomorrow, work on another. Within a month, you'll have built a foundation of mental toughness that nothing can shake. Remember, mental toughness isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about being consistently committed to your growth. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's hard, even when nobody else understands. These pillars aren't just concepts, they're tools. And like any tools, their power lies not in knowing about them, but in using them. Let's turn these concepts into daily actions. I'm going to give you specific methods that will transform your mental strength, starting from the moment you open your eyes. Morning mental exercises. Your mind is most programmable in the first 30 minutes after waking up. This is your golden time. Here's your morning mental workout routine. First, the power 10 before your feet touch the floor. Speak 10 power statements, not wishes, not hopes, declarations. I am disciplined. I am disciplined. I am focused. I am unstoppable. Say them with conviction. Your mind believes the voice it hears the most, and that voice should be yours. Next, do the future flash. Take 3 minutes to clearly see yourself succeeding at your biggest challenge for the day. Feel the emotions, hear the conversations, see the details. Your mind will treat this as a rehearsal for success. Challenge progression system. Mental strength grows like physical strength through progressive overload. Start with your comfort zone baseline, then push 10% beyond it every week. Here's how. Week 1, do what you normally do, but time it. Week 2, do it 10% faster or better. Week 3, add 1 layer of difficulty. Week 4, add 1 unexpected element. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, start by recording yourself speaking for 1 minute. Next week, speak for 2 minutes. Week 3, speak in front of 1 person. Week 4, speak in front of 3 people. Small steps, constant progress. Accountability frameworks. Your mind needs checkpoints. Create these 3 accountability levels. Personal scoreboard every night. Rate yourself from 1 to 10 on mental toughness actions. Did you replace negative thoughts? Did you push through challenges? Be brutally honest. Success partner, find someone who's committed to growth. Share your daily scores. No excuses, no sugarcoating. Meet weekly, even if just for 15 minutes. Review victories and setbacks. Public declaration, tell people what you're going to do, not for attention, but for accountability. When you speak your goals out loud, you create social pressure to follow through. Progress tracking methods. What gets measured gets improved. Here's your tracking system. The victory journal every night. Write down 3 things. 1 mental battle you won today. 1 comfort zone you pushed. 1 lesson you learned. The challenge checklist, create weekly challenges. Week 1, do something that scares you. Yes. Week 2, take on a bigger responsibility. Week 3, learn something completely new. Week 4, teach someone what you've learned. The growth grid, make a simple chart. Columns are weeks, rows are your mental toughness goals. Every day, mark your progress with 3 symbols. Exceeded expectations. Met expectations. Needs improvement. Track your patterns. When do you feel strongest? When do you typically quit? This data becomes your mental training blueprint. Implementation is everything. Start small, but start today. Pick 1 morning exercise. Choose 1 challenge. Find 1 accountability partner. Create 1 tracking method. Remember, your mind will resist this at first. That resistance is normal. It means you're pushing beyond your comfort zone. Embrace it. When you feel that resistance, smile. It means you're growing. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel ready. The perfect time to start training your mind is now, exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. Your mind is like a muscle. It grows stronger with every rep, every challenge, every push beyond comfort. These aren't just methods, they're your tools for transformation. Use them daily, track your progress religiously, and watch as your mental strength grows beyond what you thought possible. Every person has a breaking point, that moment when your mind screams, quit. Understanding these pain points isn't about avoiding them, it's about breaking through them. Identifying quit triggers. Your quit triggers are as unique as your fingerprints. They're those specific moments that make you want to throw in the towel. Maybe it's when someone criticizes your work. Maybe it's when you face your 3rd rejection in a row. Maybe it's when you're exhausted and alone. Pull out your phone right now. Create a note called My Quit Triggers. Every time you feel like giving up, write down. What happened? What time of day was it? What were you thinking? What were you feeling physically? This becomes your battle map. When you know your triggers, you can prepare for them. They lose their power when you see them coming. Creating personal mantras. Mantras aren't just positive thinking, they're power statements that cut through mental fog. Create mantras that speak directly to your quit triggers. If rejection hits you hard, your mantra might be, every no brings me closer to my yes. If you fear failure, repeat, I never lose, I either win or learn. If you struggle with self-doubt, my potential is greater than my fear. Your mantra must be personal. It must hit you in your gut. When you say it, you should feel it in your bones. Building mental stamina. Mental stamina isn't built in the good times, it's built in the tough times. Here's your stamina building system. The +1 method, whatever you think is your limit, go one more minute, one more try, one more step. The discomfort training, deliberately put yourself in challenging situations. Take cold showers, fast for a day, work in complete silence. Train your mind to be comfortable with discomfort. The power pause, when everything in you wants to quit. Pause for 10 seconds. In those 10 seconds, remind yourself why you started. This tiny pause can break the quit impulse. Recovery strategies. Mental toughness isn't about being tough all the time. It's about knowing when to push and when to recover. Here are your recovery tools. The mental reset, take 5 minutes every 90 minutes to clear your mind. No phone, no people, no input. Just breathe. The victory log end, each day writing down 3 wins, no matter how small. Train your brain to focus on progress, not perfection. The power hour schedule, 1 hour daily for complete mental recovery. Do something that fills you up, read, pray, meditate, exercise, whatever recharges you. Remember, this pain points aren't stop signs, they're growth markers. Every time you hit one, it means you're pushing beyond your old limits. That pain you feel, it's not your weakness leaving, it's your strength growing. Your mind will try to protect you from pain by encouraging you to quit. Thank it for its concern, then push forward anyway. The pain is temporary, but the growth is permanent. When you're in the middle of a pain point, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? That simple shift changes everything. Small actions repeated daily create unstoppable momentum. It's not the one big decision that transforms your life. It's the 1,000 tiny decisions you make every single day. Think about water. 1 drop won't carve through rock, but millions of drops falling consistently will cut through the hardest mountain. That's the power of the compound effect. Let me show you how this works in real life. When you choose to persist through one challenge, you're not just overcoming that single obstacle. You're building mental muscle memory. You're teaching your brain a new pattern. That one victory becomes the foundation for your next challenge. Here's what happens in your brain when you persist. Day 1, you push through discomfort, your brain notices. Day 7, your brain starts expecting victory. And day 30, persistence becomes your default setting. Day 90, you've literally rewired your brain for success. This is the momentum effect. Each small win builds upon the last. That extra hour you studied, it compounds. That extra call you made, it compounds. That morning you got up early when you wanted to sleep in, it compounds. Success isn't a straight line, it's a snowball rolling downhill. At first, the snowball is tiny. It moves slowly. Most people quit here because they can't see the progress. But keep pushing, keep rolling, and that snowball picks up speed and size. Here's what most people don't understand about persistence. The darkest moment, when you feel like nothing is working, is often right before your breakthrough. It's like breaking through a wall. The wall seems strongest right before it crumbles. Your persistence creates a success spiral. Small wins build confidence. Confidence leads to bigger attempts. Bigger attempts lead to bigger wins. Bigger wins fuel even greater confidence. This is why you must celebrate your small victories. Each one is a building block in your success structure. Don't wait for the big win to feel successful. Feel successful now with each step forward. Remember, success is not an event, it's a process. The compound effect of persistence means that every time you choose not to quit, you're not just winning that moment, you're shaping your future. Your persistence today is creating the person you'll be tomorrow. Every time you push through, you're not just achieving a goal, you're building your legacy. The time for action is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready right now. In this moment, you have a choice to make. Will you continue living at 40% of your capacity, or will you commit to becoming mentally unstoppable? Here are your immediate action steps. Right now, before you leave this room, write down your biggest quit trigger. It's your power mantra to counter it. Set your first mental toughness goal. For the next 30 days, I challenge you to week 1, master your morning. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Start with your power 10 statements. Week 2, face one fear daily, no matter how small. Week 3, push past your first quit point in everything you do. Week 4, teach someone else what you've learned. Stand up right now. Stand up. Put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. I commit to training my mind for greatness. I commit to pushing past my comfort zone. I commit to persisting when others quit. I commit to turning my pain into power. I am built for this. I am ready for this. I am becoming unstoppable. Take this paper, write down your commitment. Sign it. Date it. This is your contract with yourself. Remember what brought you here today. Remember that fire in your gut that made you listen. That was an accident. That was your greatness calling you to rise up. You have everything you need right now to start this journey. Your excuses end today. Your limitations end today. Your old patterns end today. Walk out of here knowing that you're not just motivated, you're activated. You're not just inspired, you're transformed. Your new life of mental toughness starts now. The only question is, are you ready to become unstoppable? Thank you, and remember, your mind will quit 1,000 times before your body does. Train it to never quit.